If you've clicked on this video, I'm willing to bet that your algorithm is very similar to mine, and you've also seen the resurgence towards physical media and analog hobbies and being offline that has just taken the internet by storm recently. And I, for the most part, am really happy about it, but I'll touch on that a little bit later in the video. When I say physical media, I mean media that you can hold in your hand, that you can own, that you're not downloading, you're not streaming on your devices. So anything from CDs and DVDs to VHS tapes, cassette tapes, vinyls, game cartridges, even like books. That's all physical media. Basically, the idea is like moving away from streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and Spotify and moving towards physical media and single purpose devices like listening to your CDs on a CD player or watching your DVDs on a DVD player or listening to your records on a turntable. You get the idea. I'm the oldest of Gen Z or a baby millennial, depending on when you think the cutoff year is. As a cusper, zillennial, whatever you want to call me, I grew up on physical media and then came of age during the transition to smartphones and social media, and now we're all living through the AI boom. Whoopee. So my inner child is like loving this little renaissance moment that physical media is happening. It's honestly like I'm 10 years old again, listening to the High School Musical soundtrack on my boombox, except for my posters of Zach and Vanessa are long gone. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know that we recently moved. I've had small collections here and there of various things, but in our old place, it was just so small and we just didn't have a lot of room for CDs or DVDs and things like that. So now that I have a little bit of space, it's been fun to pick up some things and start my collection. And honestly, apparently I'm very on trend. So I wanted to share with you some of the physical media finds that I've picked up secondhand recently. What would I even be doing if I didn't start with my perfect little TV? If you watched my home office setup video, then you already know about my little CRT TV that I found on Facebook Marketplace. But if you didn't, then to make a long story short, I grew up with one of these TVs. It had the built-in VCR in it. And basically ever since I was a kid, I've wanted one as an adult. But like I said before, our old place was really small and there wasn't a good spot to put it. So when we moved and I had my own office space, I decided that I wanted to use my grown-up money to buy a TV that reminded me of my childhood. This one showed up on my Facebook Marketplace, and not only was it a color that I really liked, but it was also literally the perfect size. I was looking for a 13-inch and I had just gotten this shelf on Facebook Marketplace like maybe 2 weeks before. And this TV, I kid you not, like there's about less than a 1/4 inch of space. And it was just so satisfying to like measure and then put it on the shelf and realize that it fit with that much of a gap. Unmatched. It is a Toshiba 13A24 for those of you who care, and it was made in 2004. If you grew up with these TVs, you will instantly recognize the pure static electricity, hi Troy, you will recognize the pure static electricity that happens when you turn on the TV, as well as the high-pitched whine. Like, I don't know if I just tuned it out as a kid. I knew that it was going to be there, but when I turned it on for the first time again, I was like, oh my God, like, are we about to watch PBS Kids? You do get used to the noise after a while, and I find that if you like shift your position on the couch, it's less noticeable. So that is a thing that you should expect if you get one of these TVs, but I haven't really noticed it too much, and come on, the vibes are unmatched. I did pay $100 for this TV, which I feel like is kind of middle of the road for what resellers are selling them for now. If I had found one out in the wild, I definitely would have been able to find it for cheaper. But the cost is justified to me because it was tested and working, and the guy that sold it actually said that he had been using it for his own retro gaming, so he had just upgraded his TV to a bigger one, so he was selling this one. So that made me feel good about it. Like I said, it was the right size for my shelf. That was another plus. The ones that I've seen at estate sales are like massive, and I don't need a massive one. I just need a little one. And then I also didn't have to spend the time out looking in the wild for a TV. This one just popped up on my algorithm and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. And I have had zero regrets. Since the TV is a standalone unit and doesn't have a built-in VCR or DVD player, I needed to find one of those next. And I actually thrifted a couple before finding one that I really liked. This is the Sony DVP NS725P, again, for those who care about the model number, and I believe it was $4.99 at a thrift store. I really liked that the silver matched my TV. I had thrifted a black one and it just wasn't the same. I know, call me shallow, but you know, I found the silver one and I was like, okay, I gotta do it. I also feel like the playback is pretty smooth. The first one that I thrifted just like made a bad noise. If I do end up finding a VCR DVD combo, since I still need a VCR, then I'll probably end up using that just because it's easier, there's less cores to deal with. But if I find a standalone VCR, then I'm definitely keeping this one. I don't know if you can call like a DVD player sexy, but I feel like it's up there. It's just like so sleek. I also found a cheap Blu-ray player at the thrift store, I think for $8.99 to connect to our upstairs TV. It has HDMI. It's just HD, so no 4K discs, but that's all I need. And this way I can play all of my DVDs on our big TV upstairs as well, in case, we want to have a movie night and my wife wants to watch. There's no reason to keep it on the little screen, even though the little screen is really fun. It's been nice to feel like I can start collecting things again, things that I enjoy as an adult, and not have it feel like it's cluttering up the apartment. All of this paired with the rising cost of streaming services getting bought and sold and combining and not combining. It's like we have cable TV again, wanting to own my media, and then also wanting to reduce the number of ads I see on a daily basis. Like this, I feel like could not have come at a better time. So even though I still need to find a VCR, I do already have some VHS tapes that I'm really excited to watch once I get it. So this one I actually found back home at a garage sale in Oregon, and it is the original Parent Trap with Hayley Mills. I loved the Lindsay Lohan version growing up. My best friend and I would like pretend to be the twins, and I was always Annie and she was always Hallie, and I was always jealous because I feel like Annie had to do like the worst things, jump in the lake naked, like come on. I also love the Hayley Mills version, so I'm excited to watch this at some point. It's so cute. I just love the little colors. The next one I pointed out in my home office video, which is Willie the Sparrow. I don't know if anyone else has seen this. There was one other person that commented that said that they had seen this and that this was like a big part of their childhood, and me too. I love this movie. It's very nostalgic. It was always at my grandparents' house growing up, and I would watch it every time we visited. It's just a very special movie to me, so I'm very excited to watch this once I have a VCR. Of course, you've got some classic Disney with Fox and the Hound, and then I also found a box set trilogy of the Star Wars movies, episodes 4, 5, and 6, and I'm really stoked about it. I love that the back like has R2-D2 and C-3PO and like Yoda, and then of course we've got Darth Vader. So the Star Wars movies, I didn't ever watch the Star Wars movies growing up, and only watched them once I started dating my wife, and so but I love them, and I'm like, why didn't I watch these as a kid? So it's fun to have the box set on VHS. Because also on DVD, moving to DVD, I found episodes 1, 2, and 3, as well as episode 4, and the first 2 movies of the like 3rd installment, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. So I just need the last movie for the last 3 movies, and then I need episodes 5 and 6 on DVD as well to have like the full collection. So I'm keeping my eye out for those, and it'll be fun to hunt for. I got most of these at McKay's. It was a good find. These are the beginnings of my new DVD collection. So I found the first 2 Pirates of the Caribbean. Love Keira Knightley in anything. So I had bought these for our road trip and then didn't end up watching them. But we've got the Lord of the Rings. I did end up finding the Twilight movies. This was another movie I had never seen as a kid until I started dating my wife, and then we watched Twilight. Actually, that's such a lie. I've only seen the first Twilight. So I've bought New Moon and Eclipse in anticipating that I will need to finish the series at some point, just for so I can be a part of the cultural conversation, I'm literally not going to show them all because there's more than this over there. This is the last one that I'm really, really excited about, and it is Homeward Bound and Homeward Bound 2. If you know, you have to have a box of tissues when you watch this movie. I watched Homeward Bound the other day, and I think I cried 8 times, maybe 9. Maybe 10. Literally, I was not even 10 minutes in, and the music started playing, and I was just like, oh my god, Shadow. I think Homeward Bound is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. I think if someone asks me, I would say Homeward Bound. So those are my DVD, Blu-ray, VHS tape, movie beginnings collection. Okay, I wouldn't actually categorize this next thing as physical media because it's not, but it is a single-purpose device that I'm really excited about, and that is this Nikon Coolpix camera. Just look at that. When I saw this Nikon Coolpix at an estate sale for $20, I said, you are coming home with me. You are going in my bag. You guys have to know that I was an absolute legend with my family's digital camera growing up. Although I guess the kids are calling them digicams now. Would you consider this a digicam? That's a tick in the millennial column if you ask me. I definitely used it more than my parents. I would steal it for selfies. I made little movies with my friends. I even took it to school a couple times. It should be no surprise to anybody that I became a photographer. And then as a photographer, I have so many film cameras in my collection. One day maybe I'll go through that. Let me know if you want to see it. But this is my first digicam as an adult, and I have been loving taking this little thing around. It's pocketable, it's really slow, it has an on-camera flash. Fun fact, I broke my family's Nikon Coolpix. I was taking selfies and I knocked it off of my dresser and then it didn't close again. So that was a bummer. It's really slow. It can only use like a 2 GB memory card, but it's been fun to toss in my bag and take pictures. I've taken it out a couple times. We went line dancing the other night and took pictures with a couple of our friends. I specifically love that it shows the date in the corner after the fact. The one downside is that the batteries are AA, and so whenever I take the memory card out to transfer photos, I have to reset the date because the batteries pop out, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. The date goes all the way to 2030, so I guess Nikon was like thinking ahead, but probably a terrible photo. I literally was blocking the flash. I'll take a picture of you too. Smile. You guys look great. At first I didn't mess with the date and I took a couple pictures first, and I was laughing because I was like, oh, the historians are going to be really confused when they see this picture of an iPhone 13 next to a CRT in 2005. It's been a good little addition to my camera family. Okay. I honestly blacked out when I found this at the thrift store. I thought at first from the panel on the front that this was a screen, but then when I opened it, I realized that it's a CD player. I honestly didn't ask any questions. I don't remember what the price was. It went immediately in my cart. It's a Panasonic SC-HC57, and I think it was under $10, but like I said, I blacked out. If it wasn't under $10, I think it was like $12.99. I was not expecting the sound quality that came out of these speakers. I don't know if it's the CD quality of the music or the speakers themselves, but oh my goodness, I have clearly been listening to music wrong. I'm not an audiophile by any means. Honestly, I hardly listen to music. Don't come for me. But now I understand why people are. It is so much better than our Bluetooth speaker, or maybe the music is better quality than the streaming that we play on our Bluetooth speaker. And also it's like a million times better than the boombox that I had when I was 10, which duh. There's also a fun little surprise on the other side. It's an iPod dock, which was perfect because my wife found her old iPod Nano when we were packing to move. We didn't really end up getting to use it because the battery is so shot that it only works when it's plugged in, but because this is a dock, it provides power. I haven't tried putting any new music on here because I honestly haven't wanted to deal with iTunes, but the music library on here is like straight out of 2012 and before, and honestly has some hits. It's like a little time capsule. A little hard to use because it's the iPod Nano, and if I unplug it, it'll die. But if I ever want to shuffle a playlist from 2012, I can. And it sounds great. So now that I have a CD player, and since I'm canceling streaming, I have an excuse to start collecting CDs again. So I want to talk about the ones that I'm most excited about. So the first one is Beyonce's 4. This is actually my wife's CD. It has been in her car's glove box like since she was in high school. It sounds great on the CD player. So I'm really excited to start my Beyonce collection. We've got The Essential Bob Dylan, just good vibes. I only can think of Timothée Chalamet now when I look at his face. We got a Marvin Gaye album. We've got a couple Tracy Chapman albums. Had to pick up some Aretha while we were there, and then, like I said, Tracy Chapman's Telling Stories. So the CD collection is little now. There's a couple in here as well that my wife picked up that I'm like, I actually don't know these people, but will I listen to them now? Because I don't have access to like every single song in the world. Yes. So I'm excited to like learn about new music this way. She'll pick up CDs, I'll play them, and I'll be like, oh my God, they sound great. With the money that I save not paying for a music streaming subscription, I'm going to put aside to buy some newer CDs that are like coming out so I can build, my music collection that I currently enjoy and not just old music. And I'm excited to pick up, like I said, Renaissance, Cowboy Carter, and then I want some Olivia Dean. I do want Harry Styles. I think that would be fun. Who else did I have on my list? Oh, Jessie Ware, Troye Sivan. Brat. I do want Brat. I think Brat would be fun to have. Just because, again, the quality on this CD player is like amazing. And now I'm like, I want to listen to all of my favorite music on the CD player. I'm also waiting to get my CD drive back from my parents when I visit them so that I can rip the CDs and then listen to them on my phone. I haven't gone as far yet to buy like a dedicated audio playing device or an iPod, but if I find a working one in an estate sale, I might go for it. Right now, I'm using this app called Sonora to play the few songs that I found on my old laptop, because Apple's music app library, you have to click on like 600 things to get to your library. Anyway, and it's fun because it's all this music that I found on my laptop that I accumulated over my lifespan of like having a phone. So it's so funny to see the album covers be like single of the week. And I just like, they're so ingrained in my head. I know all the words somehow. Haven't listened to these songs in years, but I don't actually know how much I can put on my phone because my phone is low on storage. So if I did have like a dedicated music playing single purpose device, that would be nice, but I'm not like pressed for it. I have a phone, I have headphones. So we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So if you haven't seen the rush to physical media, you might be wondering, why are people switching? I know that a lot of people are realizing that we don't really own anything anymore because everything is a subscription. We're basically like leasing things, your favorite music, favorite shows, etc. You know, streaming platforms can remove your favorite movies or shows without any warning. Books can get banned. Musical artists can like take their music off of streaming or decide not to put it on streaming. Even if you like buy and download a movie on a platform, you could lose access to your account, or you could lose access to your device, and then all your stuff is just gone. Obviously, there's the risk of that too with physical media, like say your house floods or it goes up in a fire. Like with anything, there is risk. Not to mention the cost of streaming is going up and you have to have like multiple subscriptions just to have access to like your 3 favorite shows. And if you're not on the highest subscription plan, then you're probably getting ads in the middle of your shows, and then like something is about to happen. They're about to find out who did it, and then you get an ad for Liberty Mutual. Like, you know what doesn't have ads? DVDs. And then there are the people that are deciding to like step away from the illusion of infinite choice that streaming provides. Like, you could have everything, everywhere, all at once, on all of your devices. But then how do you decide what to watch? What do you listen to? What do you watch on your little screen while you're watching something on your big screen? This physical media movement, if we're calling it a movement, also feels like a very clear middle finger to like the rise of AI and billionaire overreach that is happening that nobody asked for. And also, who knows how censorship will continue to evolve in this country, especially under the current administration. As someone with very clear memories of like logging on and logging off and having computer time, I was allotted 30 minutes of computer time as a child, and I'm better for it. I can just feel my nervous system like relaxing again, thinking about separating these things out. Whether I'm watching user-created content like things on YouTube, or movies, or a show, or like literally the news, I want to turn my relationship with my phone and media like back into the space where I'm able to log on, log off, and engage more thoughtfully and more intentionally. And I probably won't be able to do that entirely because it is so ingrained in my life and in so many people's lives, but just moving slowly towards it. Ultimately, I just want to live out in a field, looking at the sky, laying in grass. And I'm honestly really happy to see this movement happening amongst people that are like younger than me and grew up more predominantly in the digital age. I do feel like it is harder for younger Gen Z and now Gen Alpha especially, like, to have that disconnect because they're so like, they've been so surrounded by screens and haven't really had that opportunity or have the memories of being disconnected. So I really love that for them, and I hope it continues. Where I do get worried, I think, is that this is a trend, and with it comes the potential for it to be commercialized and commodified and lead to overconsumption and just all to kind of be done for trendy aesthetic performance on social media. I'm already seeing it, we're already seeing it, and that the collection of physical media and single purpose devices like CD players, you know, will become easily disposable after the fact. And I say this as someone who loves cool gadgets and also has a genuine hope that Blockbuster makes a comeback. There's still one in Bend, Oregon. I don't know if you guys know that. And there's a whole other video essay to be done here about that overconsumption and commodification of like physical media and going analog, going offline, that has been done very well by other people. But I will just say like 2 things. Don't give in to any pressure to have the perfect vinyl collection or the it girl iPod dupe, or even like that cute CD player you see in someone else's video. And I know, especially for people who are younger, like it can feel like you're like behind, which isn't real. You're not, there's no behind in having a music collection. Most people who have big collections and really use them on their day-to-day, like have been collecting for years, if not decades. So take your time. It's not a race. And the hunt is like part of the fun. The second thing I'll say is, please, I am begging, buy your physical media players secondhand. They already exist in the world, and they're probably made out of better materials and by better, more reputable brands than anything that you are seeing trending right now. You don't need to be buying a mostly plastic CD player or MP3 player off of TikTok Shop or Temu or Amazon. You shouldn't be buying anything off of Temu, first of all, but that will probably kick the bucket in like a year and stop working and then end up in a landfill. I know it can also be hard because they look so affordable, but they're probably affordable for a reason. It obviously takes a little more time to hunt for these things in the wild, and things can get expensive if you're looking on Facebook Marketplace and eBay, but some of the time, especially when you're looking at thrift stores or estate sales, or even antique stores, as someone mentioned in a comment on my last video, like you can find some pretty good things. Like I said, my CD player was less than $10. Like, I'm almost positive. And even if it's not the trendiest thing, there's so many other things that will work and will work so well. All in all, I am holding out hope that this is more of a cultural shift towards the use of physical media. I know for myself, it's already been helpful to slow down and be more intentional about the media that I'm consuming and the money that I'm spending. And where it's going, actually owning the things that I love and not throwing it at another subscription. So if you've been thinking about starting your own journey with physical media, like, I'm all for it. I hope this video inspires you to get started, but get started slow, be intentional. It's all about slowing down anyway. So like, why are you rushing? Why are you rushing? And I'm excited to see where it takes you. Let me know if you do start. Let me know your favorite piece of physical media that you found this week, or your favorite single purpose, like, media player. I want to know. I want to know what the people are finding. Because like I said, I love a gadget. So anyway, that is all for today. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.